Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the parts I picked. So we'll start off with the processor, probably the most important part of any computer build. This is the Intel Core i7 processor, the 5820K. It's one of the most affordable 6-core processors out there right now. And the main reason I bought it is that everyone talked about how great it is for video editing. Now, when you're building your PC, you're gonna wanna look for a processor that has as many cores as you can get within your budget, and that also have as many gigahertz within each core. So what I was working with on my MacBook Pro 2011 was a dual core processor. And while it had very powerful cores, it was limited in the amount of work it can do in a short period of time. So I'm really excited to see what this guy can do for me compared to what I've been working with. I'd say your next biggest part, from what I've been told at least, is your motherboard. What I went with was the X99 Tacky. And the reason why I'm saying that this is probably your next most important part, especially within your PC build, is that you're gonna want a motherboard that can grow with you. So I ended up getting a motherboard that was probably a little bit more expensive than what I needed, especially for my processor and the RAM I'm using and all that good stuff. But you're gonna want a motherboard that can handle much higher performing processors in the future. So I went ahead and bought a little bit more expensive motherboard on the market for that reason. From what I've been reading and all the reviews and everything, this is a great motherboard to work with. So this is another point of contention in the PC parts world. And this is your video card. It being a video card, you would think, well, this is going to be a really important part for me in terms of editing video. But from what I've been reading, especially if you're working in Premiere Pro, it doesn't really use your video card that much. That being said, if you're going to be doing color correction work in DaVinci or even some graphics that you do in After Effects, this might be a little bit more important to you. So I didn't want to spend a fortune on a video card when I was spending a lot of money on my other parts. What I ended up going with was EVGA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. From what I've been reading, it's a very good card and works wonderfully with the Adobe CC Suite. I'm gonna be using my computer primarily just for video editing. So I went with this one and it seemed like a great part. The next part that you're gonna want to take a look at is your power supply. I went with the EVGA NEX 650G. To be honest, I don't know a lot about power supply yet. A lot of people say, well, this is where you end up spending more money than you need to for the parts you're buying. Again, I want to upgrade in the future, so I wanted to get something a little bit more powerful for what I needed. From what I've been reading, it works really well with these other parts. So I just wanted to, find something that I could plug in and it would work right from the start. We'll see how it does. All right, so this is another really important piece to your PC build. This is your fan, your cooling unit. I went with a Noctua tower cooler, which from what I've been told is an amazing unit. Linus over at Tech Tips, he highly recommends these because they're a little bit quieter and they also just are much better units for cooling. So I wanted to get something that would work really well with the processor I was buying. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so here's another point of contention on your parts. This is your RAM. Everyone thinks that RAM is extremely important in terms of speeding up your video editing process, when really it doesn't matter a whole lot. It definitely matters when you're doing graphics in After Effects. So if you're gonna be doing a lot of real-time rendering, definitely look into getting more RAM. But just to get started, I went with 16 gigabytes. So it came with two 8 gigabyte RAM cards. Definitely look into Corsair DDR4 RAM. All right, hard drive space. Hard drives, big deal. So when you're buying your hard drive, try and buy 7200 RPM, especially if you're using it only to edit video. So this is what I went with, the 4 terabyte, 7200 RPM Desktop NES hard drive. These are not that expensive, especially with solid state drives being the main thing out there on the market right now. So you can pick these up for relatively inexpensive prices. I have a feeling I'm gonna be buying another 4 terabyte hard drive here in the near future. I'm going with the Microsoft operating system. This is Windows 10. This is the main reason I've been trying to stay away from building a PC for many years. So hopefully I've heard good things, especially from previous Apple users who obviously love the ease of use of that operating system. They say that this is semi-comparable and that Microsoft is doing bigger and better things in terms of improving its operating system in the future to make it more user-friendly. So we'll see how it goes. This was about 100 bucks, so it's not super expensive, but again, I'm not thrilled to be putting this on my computer. And you're also going to want a computer tower. So what I went with was this case called the Ethno Pro. It's giant, and it's also extremely heavy. So I think in the future, if I build another PC, I'll probably get something a little smaller, more lightweight. I'm very confident it's gonna fit everything I just bought, and additional hard drives and RAM in the future. And from what I've been told, it's a great case. Now, during the course of me just explaining these parts to you, I realized that I don't have my SSD hard drive. I just completely forgot to buy it. Luckily, it was an Amazon order and it's gonna get here in one day, but already this one-day build is turned into 2. If you're starting completely from scratch without a display, you're gonna wanna buy one of those as well. Luckily, this one, when I bought it, it was on sale. On top of that, you're gonna wanna get a mouse. I use this trackball mouse that you see here. I love it. It's completely changed my editing game. Definitely improves my performance. I would highly recommend getting a trackball mouse like this, or you could just buy like a $20 mouse if you just want to get started. So along with that mouse, you're gonna wanna get a keyboard that works with it. I went with this, the Logitech Solar Power K750 keyboard. I've actually been using the Mac version of this keyboard for a long time now, about a year, and will absolutely love it. So that's a quick rundown of all the parts. Altogether, it cost me about $1,400. There's a actual real cost right there, but this is a very basic build. It's not gonna do everything that I need, but again, I'm gonna be upgrading in the future, so it's a great place to start, I think.